Welcome dear Ecstasy. In this video, we will discuss an important topic and can make the hobby a successful project that brings in a lot of money. We will talk about raising rabbits and provide you with the basics of success in raising rabbits. You have presented your suggestions and not in order. Subscribe to our channel and do the bell to receive all new, and do not forget to support us with your comments and liking the video. Let's start and have fun. Rabbits, which are scientifically known as Leporti, belong to the order of rabbits, scientific name, Lagomorpha, that fall under the classification of mammals, and rabbits are intelligent, social and friendly creatures, but they may differ among themselves in their personal characteristics. The fierce, and most people do not realize this matter, is considered the reason for getting rid of some rabbits upon puberty, as their independent and strong personality is formed, while the difference in the personalities of rabbits cancels out what is known as the suitable breed for rabbits as pets, so there is no difference between one breed and another in such a case, but rather it is all due to the availability of a person who is able to adapt to the presence of such animals. Rabbits can be raised in the home as farm animals, as it is considered relatively easy and has multiple benefits. The individual can raise these animals at home without causing inconvenience to his neighbors, as rabbits are odorless and quiet, and they are easy to direct and docile animals, in addition to their excrement as a useful fertilizer for the home garden. For good raising of rabbits, you must follow the following steps. First, choose the breed. Rabbits have many different breeds, which arose from the transfer of rabbits from one region to another with a way of life and life different from those in which they were found, as they became intermarried with different strains, which led to the existence of new strains, which is called mutual mating, as rabbit breeders did by creating new strains by changing the genes of rabbits to create strains that have specific characteristics that they desire. It was previously mentioned that there is no difference between rabbit breeds when taken as a pet, but if it is taken as a farm animal, the appropriate breed must be chosen according to the purpose of its breeding, as it differs. Breeds in their characteristics, for example, the proportion of meat in the New Zealand and California rabbit breeds is more than bone, and it is medium in size, and is characterized by its white fur, and it should be noted that the New Zealand white rabbit is considered the best breeds in general, as it is distinguished by its high motherhood as well as the quality of its meat, while mating a Californian male and a female New Zealand white rabbit produces a large number of rabbits. They contain less meat. There are many other breeds, such as the silver rabbit breed, the English spotted rabbit and the Flemish giant rabbit, which are distinguished by their colorful fur, so their price is usually higher than some other breeds, in addition to other hybrid strains that arose from the intermarriage of some breeds, including what is known as a strain Altex, which was produced as a hybrid breed of many different breeds, such as the Flemish giant rabbit, the silver rabbit and the Californian, as it is characterized by its ability to withstand high temperatures, as well as its great ability to increase in rapid growth in size, as the weight of this strain ranges from 4.5 to 9 kilograms. This strain was produced through joint efforts between the universities of Alabama and Texas with the aim of using it as a type of commercial rabbit. Second, equipping the dwelling outside the home. A suitable housing and environment must be provided for rabbits. This matter affects the productivity of these animals, and there are many things that should be taken into account and available in the housing of rabbits, so it must be subject to natural ventilation, taking into account that rabbits are not exposed to strong winds or rain directly during the winter and sunlight especially during the summer season. In order to protect them from sun strikes, the dwelling can be provided with plywood or plastic sheets and surrounded by some old blankets or polyethylene sheets to protect them from wind and rain, and in the event that rabbits are in a dwelling that does not contain heating, it must be secured in a closed place. It can be kept warm inside. It is preferable to place rabbits in safe housing from any predator, and must not be exposed to various pollutants such as smoke and dust, in addition to its proximity to water and electricity supplies, and housing care is not limited to these matters only. When near the birth of a female rabbit, the housing must be secured in a way that resembles a small nest that can be made of untreated natural wood, metal panels or wire mesh, so that the pregnant female has a space of her own and her young after birth. and in winter periods it is recommended to warm this special space by placing sawdust or straw in it, and it is worth noting that different housing can be provided for rabbits, including 1 cages system. This type depends on placing rabbits inside cages distributed through rows located inside a barn or pergola, so that these cages are raised on racks of wood or concrete, and galvanized iron, known as CGI for short, can be used to make the roof of the barn, and the type of these barns may vary. Some of them are semi-permanent and are built with columns of wood, straw, bamboo and other materials, and some of them are permanent as they contain half a wall of brick and iron and a concrete floor, and regardless of the nature of the barn used, it must contain a good drainage system to facilitate cleaning of the cages. Placing the cages in widely spaced rows so that they have enough space for people to pass through, or even placing them in layers on top of each other to save space inside the barn, and rabbit cages vary in size, but it is recommended to make them using wire nets with measurements of 60-91 cm and a height of 38 cm, while they range the dimensions of the mesh holes are between 7.6 and 10 cm, and it is worth noting that the use of wood material for the manufacture of these cages should be avoided, because wood is a difficult to clean material that absorbs water and urine. In addition to that, it can be chewed by rabbits. To the hut system, huts can be built of iron, wood or bamboo as housing for rabbits, taking into account that they are not exposed to direct sunlight to avoid high temperatures, and the hut must be divided into multiple rooms so that the size of each of them is 8.9 times 7.6 8.9 centimeters. Wooden planks or bamboo planks can also be used to separate them. Galvanized iron, CGI, or straw is the preferred material for the roof of the hut, and the floors should be a mesh of metal wire to facilitate waste disposal. 3. The floor system, allocating an area of land in the yard of the house to be housing for rabbits, so that a special space is allocated for each rabbit. Housing must be secured for it, such as a box made of solid wood, and it must be spacious and has enough space for the rabbit to move freely. Where it must be, this space is sufficient for a single rabbit to jump through a minimum of 3 full jumps in any direction, in addition to being able to comfortably extend its hind legs, in addition to a space in front of the cage where the rabbit can run and jump. And it should be noted that if the rabbit is alone, it must bring a rabbit of the opposite sex to put it with the first in the cage, as it will need companionship, and on the other hand, the presence of the rabbit outside the house protects it from pets in the house such as cats and dogs. 3. Nutrition. Knowing the correct way to feed rabbits is very important, as diseases resulting from malnutrition are most prevalent among rabbits, so care must be taken to put a healthy diet for them, as any blockage in their digestive system can cause great health risks. If the rabbit is not able to eat food for a period of 12 to 24 hours, it should be presented to the specialist veterinarian immediately. And although rabbits are distinguished as herbivores, meaning they eat plants, but this does not prevent them from eating some other foods such as roots, worms, snails and tree bark, and it is worth noting that rabbits use the sense of smell to identify food and its location, due to the rabbit's inability to see what is directly in front of it, as its eyes point to the side. The rabbit has a digestive system that differs from that found in other mammals, so the rabbit's digestive system produces 2 types of stool, the first of which is the dry feces in his litter box, while the other type, known as nocturnal feces or scotrope, is one of the most important food sources for the rabbit, as the rabbit eats this type of feces because of what it contains. It is one of the important nutrients for its body, and the rabbit can eat hay, which is an important source of fiber, which protects its intestines and enhances its work, while vegetables are an important source for providing rabbits with various nutrients and water, and it is preferable to provide various vegetables on a daily basis, taking care to choose those whose leaves are dark in color because they are rich in useful elements for rabbits, but it must be sure to wash them well before presenting them to the rabbit, including lettuce leaves, parsley, watercress and others, and you should also stay away from presenting certain varieties of vegetables such as cabbage, beans, peas, potatoes, and spinach and others. The compound feed intended for agricultural rabbits can be added within its nutritional program because it contains many important vitamins and minerals, but it should be noted that reliance on this type of food may cause harmful obesity for rabbits and is not suitable for rabbits present as a pet, due to what these grains contain of high calories, and small amounts of fruits can be added to the diet of rabbits, as those rich in fiber are considered the best types of fruits suitable for rabbits, such as apples without seeds, pineapples, strawberries, peaches, and pears, and it is also necessary to avoid serving nuts, chocolate, or bread, pasta, and biscuits for rabbits, and while adhering to all that has been mentioned, it should also be taken into account to provide adequate quantities of daily food for rabbits, as the rabbit needs food at a rate of 120 to 150 grams per meal served twice a day, and it should be noted that the amount of food varies according to different growth stages, and clean drinking water must be provided continuously. Fourthly, caring for rabbits. Rabbits need care and supervision to ensure that they are always in the best condition. It is good to monitor the rabbit's behavior and general appearance, and among the health symptoms that may appear on the rabbit are spots that spread inside the ears, or diarrhea or secretions from the nose or eyes, and it is necessary to monitor the health condition for rabbit teeth. Dental problems are common among rabbits, and although rabbits do not need many vaccinations, there are some important vaccinations to protect them from deadly diseases such as viral hemorrhagic disease, which is known as VHD, as a veterinarian must be consulted to learn about vaccines for the rabbit and the number of vaccinations, and attention must be paid to its temperature. The average normal temperature for rabbits is between 38.5 and 40 degrees Celsius, and the rate of their heart rate in the absence of stress is between 180 to 250 beats per minute. It is recommended to provide and create a suitable place for rabbits so that they are able to exercise whenever they want. Exercise is very important in raising the rabbits, as it helps young rabbits to grow properly, and also maintains the physical fitness of adult rabbits, while the appropriate time for rabbits to exercise per day is considered it as 4 hours a day, so that this period is divided into a morning and an evening period, and the exercises that the rabbit wants to do varies according to the difference in its type and age, as young rabbits tend to be hyperactive, while large rabbits prefer sleep, but this does not mean that they do not need to practice such exercises. Fifthly, mating and young. Rabbits become able to mate when they are about 6 or 7 months old, as the female is brought into the male's cage in agricultural rabbits, where it is recommended to give the couple an opportunity to communicate twice a day in the morning and evening period, as this opportunity increases the couple's acquaintance with each other, and it increases the chances of success of the mating process and obtaining a greater number of births. And the pregnancy of the female rabbit lasts for 30 days, in which the female lives in a separate place of her own, which is the small nest mentioned previously, and usually the female rabbit gives birth during the hours of the night, as she does not need any assistance during childbirth, and a female rabbit can give birth to an average of 6 births, and the number of births can reach 14, and young rabbits are born with closed eyes and no fur, as the fur begins to appear during the 4th day of their birth, while their eyes are opened after the 10th day. Young rabbits do not need to be fed during the first 20 days of their life, as they are completely dependent on breast milk during that period, and after more than 2 weeks of their lives have passed, the young ones begin to leave their place to gradually start eating herbs along with the mother's milk, which is less dependent on them. He must gradually eat until they are completely weaned and begin to depend on green fodder, vegetables and other nutritious foods, and the stage of weaning the young is between day 42 to day 45 from the date of their birth. And it is worthy of rabbit breeders to take care of some young children who are not able to breastfeed naturally and well by feeding them cow's milk with a special feeding or dropper, and after the weaning stage, rabbits are taken care of and fed well to be able to grow rapidly, as they will not be able to mate until their weight reaches about 60% of the weight of an adult rabbit. We hope you liked this video and benefited from all the information. We thank you for the good follow-up and see you in a new video.